Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast, back in the dungeon.
Finally.
It's been a minute.
Had to give Gigi some time. I didn't want to fuck around with her, since she tried to catch us with heart strokes.
Right. Most people play video games in their parents' basement. I podcast there.
Yeah. We've got a guest in studio.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be able to pick said guest's brain both ways. We made a post a while back that see what the listeners wanted to talk about, wanted to hear. First one was Griff, which we got Griff on last week. The next comment was qualified drivers for Gold Rush. Mm-hmm. So I figured, they qualified.
And then about 3 posts down from that, they wanted to hear from the tech side of things.
Mm-hmm. So we figured killed 2 birds, 1 stone.
Get 2 birds stoned at once.
So we got Daylan Brown in the dungeon with us today. Daylan, what's happening, dude?
Oh, not much. Just here to have a good time.
We fucked up and spent about 30 minutes talking about shit we should have been talking about again.
Got real deep.
Which we might jump back into some of that here at the end of
But now we're going to be able to pick Daylan's, how the whole qualifying process went through at Whisky City. 3-wheeling it. Fake taxi did not look kosher at the end of it when it was getting loaded on the trailer.
No, but it did what it was supposed to do.
Yes, sir, it did. Yeah. So we're gonna hit it. You got a yellow taxi that was in a movie.
Yep. It was in Transformers: Dark of the Moon as a prop car.
Where did you find this fucking thing?
Well, there's this guy in Lebanon, Missouri that we always seen it driving by going home from watching the Derby. He always had a blue 1973 Imperial hanging out outside.
Anybody from fucking Missouri that has been down that direction has seen that car out there with the car hauler. Everybody's tried to buy the fucking thing. Everybody. I've stopped in there.
Leave it to Daylan.
Well, Dad said he stopped through there and talked to the guy, and they got off. Dad's got the gift of gab. He can buy anything from anybody pretty well. And he's talking to this guy. He's like, I got this car, and I got this 2007 taxi down there. And another cool thing about this Imperial is in Electric Cowboy, or whatever it is. So, with John Travolta, I think.
Urban Cowboy,
yeah. Yes. Yeah, that one. But, he's like, I got this other car too. I don't know if you're gonna want it or not. He's like, it's a 1985 Metric GM, and I'm like, Dad's like, well, do I have to take it? And he's like, if you buy these cars, they'll sell it to you for $200. Dad's like, all right, I'll take it. And that's ended up being the car that we gave that kid for
the youth
car.
Yeah.
But I got that car.
It
served its purpose that it did. So that was kind of one of them cheapies, helped the little man out, all at the same time.
It was crazy. A lot of people would come together for all that.
Oh, yeah.
But that guy, he was, what he did for a living before he retired is he supplied prop cars to movie scenes, like movies. So that's how I ended up with that one.
It would have been a lot cooler if it was actually a fake taxi.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been fun stripping out, though.
I don't know, I found some fucked up shit in some cars that were not fake taxis. I went all the way to Texas one time and got a 76 Cadillac for Teddy and brought it back, and we were cleaning the trunk out of it and found one of the bigger dildos I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Teddy, keep it.
No, I think fucking Pete took it.
Oh, leave it to Pete. So how did you got this fake taxi? You got it home. You instantly knew that this was the one that you were going to take. Yeah,
I knew this one. I wasn't going to fucking paint it. So basically, I was like, I'm going to have this one done, and the rear quarters built on it, and it's going to set back for when, I run a big show, and it's gonna look good. I ain't gonna touch it. It's gonna be all nothing but metal weld and patina. So I knew that was going to be the one when the time came.
Because they sat around for a long time with no motors on.
Yeah.
Long time.
Like months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. were you expecting? Were you apprehensive about the heat draws? Here, that's probably the easiest way. I'm gonna.
I was nervous as fuck. I was about to puke, and that don't happen very often to me anymore. So, me and my dad will go up and draw at the same time, and he pulls out the same chip as mine. I was like, well, this is nice. And then Rob's like, hey, what heat you get? And he's like, I told him I got heat 3, and he's like, no shit, me too. I was like, oh, fuck, this is going to be a fucking cakewalk. But, yeah, I was after that, I was like, this is going to be pretty good. I bet this is going to be the fastest heat of the night. So, because them two boys, they do not fuck around.
Oh, no.
No.
An old iron, picking shots, and that's what we had talked about, right after that show.
Fucking insane how much time they were giving your dad to do what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could just sit.
He was backing up and was like, I'm going to do that. And he would head that way. And then he'd back up and wait a little bit. Fuck, there's another shot. It was just fucking insane to watch. It was definitely one of the heats to watch that night.
Yeah, I was out there, and I was kind of playing the pace of the show, pace of the game out there, and I just kept seeing a blue stripe come past me, and I'm like, holy fuck! I turn around and there'd be a Vic completely wadded the fuck up back there.
And then he'd back up like, oh, okay, and he'd sit there, and he was sitting right. He would park right below me, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? He wasn't messing with switches. He wasn't messing with shifters. You just kind of start to see his head moving. Like, oh, he's looking for one motherfucker is what he's doing. And about that time, you saw the old shifter move, and you thought, uh-oh. And he almost, dude, he missed you.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He timed it fucking perfectly, man.
Well, if you hadn't been on the gas, he would have.
Yeah.
But that just kind of...
But what was crazy at the other end of the track, they were letting Rob do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's take just caddies and just let them do what the fuck they want to do for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, definitely wasn't bagging.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
No, because, Rob, he didn't really start getting hit until about halfway through that heat.
Probably down to 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember who it was. He was stuck on Rob pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, it was at the opposite end of the track. Because they finally separated you all. Toward the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You all come out where you wanted to be, so...
But it would have been cool as shit if they all could have made it through.
Exactly.
Looked like Mr. Hill was trying to throw a curveball in there a little bit. At that time, when you've got, you got good buddy on the track, a couple good buddies on the track with you, plus your dad and us as spectators, it's hard to cheer, really, because you want every one of them to do good. It's not, fuck. Man,
I make that fuck up all the time. So I'm always getting dirty looks. I'm like, well, fuck you, man. I don't know. They fucking invited me on vacation and shit. Fuck you. Whenever you start letting me come over to your pool house and go swimming, I'll fucking cheer for you.
Yeah, no shit.
But during that whole heat/feature, because we know there was 5 one-and-dones that weekend, when did you know? When did you have this idea in your head that, hey, fuck, I'm getting ready, I'm going to qualify?
Probably when the checkered flag was done.
Was it?
No, not quite. When I figured out that Brock, or whichever hill it was, I always get them boys mixed up. But whichever one, I knew he couldn't steer, and I knew how to steer my car with the transmission. I pretty well knew that he had about 3 minutes left on him of run time because his car was getting hot. But I pretty well knew that he couldn't run very far from me, and that I was going to win this. So
now, I know at one time me and you conversed too that you were hoping your dad was going to win, because at that point you were going to have another car.
Yes.
Already going.
Yes.
For the team setting at Gold Rush.
Yes. If he would have been in second place, I was going to break off for him and go out and let him go.
But once Alan got hung up and it's just come down to you and Tyler, then it was like, nope.
Once you got a drive shaft to the side of the head.
Which we talked about that too.
Yeah.
I watched that shit happen.
Oh, I watched it right in front of me, right in front of my face.
Like, I was sitting straight up above your old man, and I was like, something just come through the fucking floorboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it happen right in front of my face. I done thought he was fucked up in there. So.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of those drive shafts do that exact same thing that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. I mean, it's not like everybody out there don't have the best equipment you can buy.
Well, I know how much them fucking drive shafts were.
Yeah.
Correct. So it's not like they were
I've
running
paid
some.
less for cars.
Yeah. Really?
Exactly.
Well, licensed
Seriously, yeah.
So it's not like somebody just had a home built, old square tubing that they run.
no.
No,
Old
fuck no.
PTO shaft. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't
Those
do
were
that
fucking
anymore.
tri-oval. They were fucking about 2.5 miles long, but
Yeah. So you knew after your heat draw, you knew you had a really good chance. Then it came down to it. How long did it take for the excitement to really set in?
whenever he was picking his steaks up at Big Al's that I'd ordered.
This podcast is not sponsored by Big Steakhouse.
Be fucking cool if it was, though.
Yeah, I agree. That's
I
not
sent,
very many places you'll get a steak like that and those nice of titties. So
I sent a Snapchat out, and he was like, "Are you still there?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Order me 9 steaks." I was like, "All right,
I got you."
Deal.
I mean, the shit was good. It really was.
I can't believe it was there that long after I popped up in there, though. It was rough up in there.
It was.
It was rough.
It was dark. It was really dark in the strip club.
I thought we were done talking about Big Al's ass.
I like to talk about ass and big L's, but
And see right there, I couldn't partake. I got there one day too late, and all the carbon monoxide that tried to kill me that fucking night.
dude, it took me 3 months to recover from that.
You'll get it a lot in the shop, if when you're stripping, you got the torch going. I think it's all the insulation and the shit from the car. That'll get you down for a couple days.
I would have recovered faster if I would have just been drinking antifreeze out of the jug. Drinking fucking antifreeze and then chasing it by chewing on tires.
Yeah, I was gonna say every time fucking I blew my nose, I felt like I was fucking shooting a 23 Galaxy.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
Yes. Yeah, it was horrible.
I got back and everybody was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like, I don't know, I still can't breathe.
Fucking bags the size of a pillow on this blow your eyes. You know,
I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep where the fuck because I couldn't breathe. It was just horrible.
headaches.
Yeah.
I just want to know how somebody didn't die in there.
That might be one reason why they're not going back there.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, it very well could be.
Because it wasn't just bad in the arena. Fuck, I mean, it was
bad everywhere.
Yeah.
I took Riley out to the.
Yeah, she had took her out to where you can get your water and soda and stuff to
still
let her
couldn't
get
see.
some air, and then walked her out to the front door. So when you open the front door to go outside, you can watch the smoke
Yeah.
and the carbon monoxide
It was
going
a great
out.
first derby for her to decide she wanted to go to with us.
Speaking of that, I've been trying to get Chris, and I'm pretty good friends with Sam's daughter's boyfriend, Cactus. I've been trying to get them talked into looking at the family arena down in St. Charles.
You know, I talked to them. I've talked to them 2 or 3 times because I wanted to move Mother's Day Madness there.
It's a great venue too.
It's fucking killer.
It is amazing.
They are so worried about the ventilation. Terrible. I mean, they have never had anything like that in there. And every time I brought it up, like I said, I've talked to them on 3 different occasions, and that was the ventilation. 100% the ventilation. Because they were like, well, the parking and everything, we can make that work. But it all come down to the ventilation.
Well, if they'd spend some money and put a couple $100,000 in a ventilation system, they'd make that back. And You know.
They make it back in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were worried about it ruining reputation towards like their concert scene and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with other people going in there. So yeah, I don't know.
The dome just sounds amazing.
I just don't want to get my car broken into down there. That's what I don't want.
Right.
Yeah.
If I can get stabbed by a heroin needle.
Well, that's why you leave your shit in Chesterfield, and they need to come up with an Uber that'll pull your shit.
Yeah.
Just
and drop you off at the back gate.
Fucking A. And then come back, we'll load this bitch, and you can take me back to Chesterfield.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything on the west side of that river is way better.
I've came back to my ride's car there, but the fucking window broke out quite a few times.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. So you go
I just leave mine down.
Exactly. I mean, they're going to get in there anyway.
Yeah. So you go, you get qualified. Everybody's pretty secretive of what they're taking. So I will ask, is it something in your realm? Because we know we've seen you in all sorts of shit. 9802s, we've seen you in Old Iron, we've seen you in, Cadillac, stuff like that. And we know what area you like to dabble in a little bit more than others.
Yeah.
Are you trying, knowing that this thing is going to pay $20,000, it's a one and done, but you have to be 100% on your game there? We know you have the equipment for it. We know you got GHE transmissions. We know you got Jeff Collier nasty fucking power plants. Is this... Did you find your home?
No, I mean, honestly, I'm going a little out of my comfort zone here because I'm trying to bring a car that's going to last an hour and a half if I have to. So instead of just bringing a fuck around and find out car, I'm going to be able to fuck around and find out in an hour, But yeah, I'm dabbling in something I'm really not. I mean, I got a few buddies that I've been leaning on pretty hard building this car, and they've been gracious enough because I've helped them on new styles that they are telling me basically everything I need to do, which, like, if I tell you who's been telling me, then you'll know exactly what I'm bringing.
Correct, you would understand.
So, yeah. But, yeah.
And if anybody paid any attention, you leaving a show one night on a trailer, I think that could probably tip the scales of what he's taking. Not that many guys that I know were there that night, except for a few, and they probably already knew anyways. But it looked really, really clean.
It's all right. It's you're allowed rust repair there, so I got a car that's clean framed and need a little bit of rust patching that are in the necessary spots that need rust patched.
It's just not one of them shit boxes where you're going to be Flintstone powering for
No, the
2
floorboards are absolutely phenomenal in it. And the frame is really, really good. It's a little brown in a couple spots, but it pretty well wire wheeled off. So
when I got to go to Nebraska, hell, he didn't tell me to fuck off. When I went up to Border Wars, several guys up there, knowing the Eddies, they had the GHE transmissions. So there were some guys that were actually asking me, they're like, man, hardly none of Missouri guys had transmission issues. Well, the ones that you were talking about spent the money in the correct places. Mm-hmm. I mean, it helps when your person in your family builds them for you.
Exactly.
But I had guys outside of that circle asking me, hey, what transmissions are these guys running? And I said, if you really want to see them proven, I said, go back and watch Whisky City and watch 020 and 030. I said they were both driving with 3 wheels, not giving the transmissions any slack.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
But that's right when you got that first one in that I knew you had in was at Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, and I ripped the fuck out of that transmission.
Yes, not lifting.
Yeah, I put 9 or 10 hard, like
You put 9 runs on one night is what you did.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one time at Pleasant Hill, the second Pleasant Hill on it. I was bouncing off a rev limiter, just shifting back and forth because I was trying to get out of there. And it did not miss a beat. It didn't do nothing. But at Whiskey, I was losing reverse, doing the same thing. But, I will always swear by GHE trainees. They are phenomenal. And just at Whiskey alone, he told me that we sold him 8 or 9 transmissions. So, that night. And then Jeff told us we sold them like 5, 6 engines.
Yeah, because they were 8,000 RPMs all night long for however long your all's features were, and just beating the piss out of a transmission while you're doing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if that's not I'm not saying a sponsorship type of deal, but that's putting their name on the line on how you perform, and everybody in the nation saw it.
Exactly.
So the first thing, I want what he's got.
Well, my big deal with them and their transmissions, like, they are so confident in their shit, they don't give a fuck how you drive. Like, they're not picking and choosing their customers on their drive style.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They're not like, well, I don't know if this transmission's right for you. No, fuck that. Put this transmission in your shit and go abuse it.
I watched Corey Ludington, which he swears by him. I mean, he had an axle and a wheel completely out. Caddy issues, no wheel and tire on the front. And just, wow, LSing just forward, back, trying to get it to go. And it never quit. I mean, by that time he was dug in a hole with 2 wheels. But
well, what him and his brother did out there running around on 3 wheels, they were turning the cars with the fucking transmission.
Yes.
That's exactly 100% how they were steering those cars.
And I had lock steering for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I had to use the transmission to drive it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, fucking wide open, and it was cutting. He'd fucking slam it in reverse, spin the motherfucker around, and then back forward. Like, if that doesn't prove somebody's buildability, then.
And they don't sponsor us, but we like talking about good, high quality parts that you can get, and it's not that far from us.
No.
Customer service is unreal. Same way as Jeff Corey.
Exactly.
He mainly just fucks with the GM stuff, and I had him talked into the other day. He's like, drop one of those fucking Mopar transmissions out there, and I will try it. And well, finally, I
finally got smart.
Bought GM shit now, but he was gonna try it.
Speaking of customer service, at Blizzard Bash, after my catastrophic engine failure, I ran the heat and lost my transmission, which wasn't anything that had to do with Jarek. When we were putting it all back together, we put the bell housing on a weld that had it, a little fucked up on alignment, and it burned the pump out of it. So the whole next day, him, Gary Robinson, and Tyler Splain spent all day cutting my transmission out and putting a new one in. He stayed down there all day. Didn't have to. Wasn't even there. He just seen my transmission went out, and he came in and put it all back together, put a new one back together, and helped them guys put it in, made sure everything was shimmed right and O-ringed right. And
that's customer service. Just like Corey was talking, the first time that he ever been around Jarek was at Blizzard Bash, and he helped change transmissions, and it wasn't even his transmission.
Yeah. Jarek's a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
All the Matty boys are good dudes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good dudes. Yeah. People who listen to the podcast know that you have stepped into a little different scenario over the summer. You've moved to the tech side as well.
Mm-hmm.
How was that treating you after your first weekend of full tilt, 2 nights, Friday and a Saturday show?
Tech and a fish line. Like,
Yeah.
what'd you think?
I mean, it wasn't that bad. But I mean, it's probably good that I didn't get my feet wet with like 200 fucking cars, But it was fun. I mean, I didn't realize, like, on the tech side of things, how fast things go, like how fast you're supposed to move through cars, because I like to take my time and look at shit, and, because I want to be fair with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
People say to tech the drivers, I don't like that. I ain't about that. You know, I get that done to me all the time, and I don't like that. So I take every car fairly. I don't care if fucking, you know, your weld's only a half inch over what it's supposed to be. You know, you're grinding that shit down or whatever the hell else. You know, I try to be as fair as I want because I get accused all the time for that shit. My buddies let me in with whatever I want, fucking all that other jazz. You know.
A lot of times it's the fucking opposite way, or it was with us. Like, I was a lot harder on people that I knew, just because I knew the bullshit that was going to come after it.
Exactly. Like at Pleasant Hill, Austin, everybody would always give Austin shit about us getting through, and they don't even understand the hell Austin put us through.
Yeah.
And we're friends with Austin, you know, but he had to.
Yep.
And that's the way that that we were with Hewers. Like, Jerry and them have fucking been through that shit over and over and over and over. They're like, well, this motherfucker just, you know, like, Jesus Christ, you all. And we're like, fuck, you know, sorry, like, fix it.
Yep. And like at Shelbina, you know, I don't want to be accused of letting Rob and Trey in with whatever they want. So, you know, me and Cody just stood back and let the other, Junior and Gary are plenty smart enough to find anything they want to find if anything's done. So we didn't want the bullshit of getting accused of overlooking anything. So we let them guys have at it underneath.
You were talking about the speed of tech and how the shit needs to keep rolling. Like, that's what we run into whenever we had that 180 cars in Paris. It was just like we were trying to do a thorough job and fucking had cars lined up for the highway. We're like, what the fuck? What do we do here?
Exactly. Yeah. I can only imagine how much chaos that was.
It was insane. I wanted to just quit. Like, fuck it. Here, I'm done.
We did.
No, that was a year after that we quit.
Yeah, we quit at the last Paris one too, and then some other asshole put some shit all over Facebook this week.
Just trying to give the people what they want.
Yeah. So you got through first 2 shows. I know you got another one coming up. Is there anything that you're looking forward to? Because I know that you even made a post right after, I think, Lewistown on that Friday night about, you know, these kids that are building these little gut and goes and vans and shit where that shit's not safe.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm just like mostly every other point. I just want to grow the sport. You know, I don't care about any of that other stuff, but I want to make MJC Promotions a fair place where people think they can bring their cars and run and be competitive with cars that are built just like theirs, you know. And I just want to make sure safety is the thing too, because I don't want to see somebody burn up inside of a car. And, you know, these guys that are running pretty well heater hose line on their high pressure fuel line, you can't be doing that. Like,
drives me fucking insane.
You can't be doing that. Like, I got a picture of one of the guys. They put a beer bottle on their return hose.
Got that same picture.
Yeah. Fucking gut and go, guys. Do better.
Because the message I got last week was, hey, I forgot to send you this. Give me a second. I was like, where the fuck's that? I can't see it. And then it was a video. And I was like, what the hell? And how the hell did they even do it? Did they cut the ass of the bottom of a beer bottle off?
And shoved it inside the fucking tank.
Yes. He was like, this is what it's like teching compacts. I was like, oh my God. That's worse than swing set shit. That's worse than kids trampoline. That's worse than all of it.
We had a kid show up with Cavalier, something stupid like that, and had a fucking regulator on it. And I looked at his line and I was like, well, this shit's only good to like 40 pounds or 50 pounds of pressure. I was like, fucking thing's putting out 62. He's like, well, I'll turn the regulator down. I was like, the car won't run. I was like, you went through the fucking work of putting a regulator on here. Just go buy high pressure line.
Yeah, no shit. It ain't even expensive.
I was like,
really.
what are you doing? I was like, that regulator cost more than the fucking line would have.
Mm-hmm. But in their brain, they're just, well, I can regulate from that tank all the way to the engine. Like, you can't. You can regulate from that regulator to the engine, But you ain't regulating from that tank to that regulator.
Exactly. And just going to throw this out there, guys. If you plan on running more than one gun go, just spend the money and buy a fuel tank with a pump inside of it. That comes with lines and all that jazz.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll be money ahead.
Every 16 to 20-year-old kid right now is a welder. Like, get one of your buddies and build a tank. I mean, coat a fucking steel tank. I don't give a fuck. Put studs on it and bolt the goddamn pump in it. Like, just take the factory pump.
Yeah, and put it in there. Yep.
Bolt it in there.
Yep.
And then just hook the factory fucking lines back up. If you
Exactly.
They all couple. They're done. And if you need the lines to get, or if you need the tools to get the lines off of the fuel pump, Harbor Freight sells them. I looked at them today.
Yep.
$7.99
For the entire kit, for every fitting. Yeah.
But basically, the thing is like safety and that whole deal.
Because if they're not doing all that shit, I'd rather them just don't touch anything. Leave the tank under the car. Because I can fight the fire under the car.
You can't fight it whenever you're on fire.
Yeah, I was like, I can't stop 70 pounds of fuel pressure blowing on you. I was like, if it's under the car, we can move the car. I can get you out. Whatever we need to do. Because I can, we've done it before, blowed fire back under the car so that we can pull somebody out of the driver's seat. But if the fire's inside, I'm not getting in there. I'm sorry.
No, we saw, Palmyra a couple years ago.
Yeah. Up north. What's his name?
It was in, he's from Bowling Green. Son of a bitch.
Yoder.
Yes.
Yes.
Yoder.
Yeah. Cody actually ended up with that car because he bought all his setup and there was still skin on the car.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
That was horrible.
Whole top of the transmission was blown up.
That's what you don't. We understand, this
I don't
sport.
like to question any driver's ability or common sense, but we've all been there. We've all been in a car that the transmission's going out of. You know it. You fucking know. You know.
Every time.
You know what's going to happen if you keep laying that motherfucker to the floor. Because what's happening is there's pressure being built. The fluid's getting hotter and hotter.
It's expanding. Everything's expanding.
And then it'll fucking explode. And then you're going to get a fireball and shrapnel on your legs. Like, that's just what's going to happen. There's no other outcome to that. Ever.
And people don't understand, though, the best way around that, even if your transmission's slipping like that, if you just shut the car off and leave it for 10 seconds and turn it back on, it'll usually go for
That's
a
what
little while
everybody was
longer.
giving
Do that
me-
about 4 times, 5 times.
And then it'll be done. But that's what everybody was giving me shit out there at Blizzard Bash. Mine, big old smoke ball. Come out of the transmission, I shut the car off. What the fuck's he doing? Well, the transmission's out, motherfucker. I'm in 15th. I ain't gonna win this.
Exactly.
Shut the motherfucker off, got out of it, got back in it, drove it to the trailer. It wouldn't pull itself on the trailer. I shut the motherfucker off. They're like, you're not going to load it? I was like, I'll load it in the morning. It'll start and fire up, and I can pull it on there.
Yeah.
But the transmission was out of the motherfucker. I mean,
Mopar problems.
there we go.
No mo, he says.
So, know you're going back. Know you're going to South Dakota. Build process has started. You do have another show to tech. You just bought a house. You're redoing a house.
Yeah.
You got Rugrats running around. You still got to play daddy time too. You still got work. Dude, how in the fuck do you balance all this? Does your little ass ever sleep?
About 5 hours a night, 4 hours a night, that's all I get. But it's constantly from 6 o'clock in the morning to fucking 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, I'm going, doing something, working on house. Like today, we spent all morning painting a house and getting ready for kitchen cabinets and shit to go in. And dropped kids off yesterday, dropped her kids off this morning, just so we can do that. It's hell in a handbasket, basically. It's crazy. And I haven't been able to run any other cars this year, even work. I haven't touched my whiskey car since I unloaded it. I cut the front fenders off of it because I was going to restub it, and that was about it. But now I ordered leaf springs for my South Dakota car, and
Oh, that's giving up some shit.
yeah, head. And getting where I'm dabbling on that car a little bit. I gotta get to working on that here pretty soon because I ain't doing it like I did my whiskey car. I built it in about a month.
Now, how did the rules justify what you were taking?
Somewhat. I mean, kinda. Yes. It's pretty good rules for that because there wasn't very much stipulation on rear suspension and all that jazz. So I think it's gonna and rear end bracing, and so I think it's gonna be.
Which I know a lot of guys that the rule set justifies what they take.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sturgis. You know, Wicked Show. You get at that time you got a 10-inch bumper bracket. So by the time you cut it and hard nose, your 10-inch bumper bracket went all the way to the spring pocket.
Exactly.
So guys will take something, you know, that direction, and then a Blizzard Bash build or a Capital Carnage build where you can do just a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you can. So there's, you know, like we were just talking before we hit the go button, like Utah,
Mm-hmm.
all their 80s and newer gave them kickers. All old iron lets you tie in the mid plate. Couldn't do both. You had to do one or the other. But then they were giving the 80s and newers you can do a league spring conversion
Mm-hmm.
and hump plates. It's them trying to even the playing field out,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because Utah was so long of Cadillacs. You know, anybody can go on YouTube and punch up Robbie Layton,
Mm-hmm.
and he's fucking dudes up with a caddy. So,
and the thing is, old iron is still plentiful
yes,
out that way. Plentiful.
yes, and they even were talking about that on the feed. Was, you know, you think Utah and you think snow and all sorts of shit, but in the valleys, these things are
Desert and
just clean,
dry.
clean fucking cars.
Well, see, I heard a long time ago that they don't really use salt out there for their road. Like when it does, they use volcanic ash.
They've got to
heard.
because it gets so cold
Yeah.
at some points that it won't, like the salt doesn't, the
Work.
salt will freeze.
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
work.
Salt and whenever you put it on ice,
Makes water then freeze again.
100%,
Yeah.
that's exactly what happens. That's why a lot of people have went to the cinders and shit. Sorry, a little fun fact there.
Just like we buy a lot of cars out of Colorado and shit like that too, because people think it'd be
It's
rotten.
not-
You know, no.
No, whenever it gets down to negative 42 in the fucking mountains with the
Yeah.
wind blowing, like you're not using salt for that, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
You got worse luck pulling shit out of Illinois because they use the fuck out of salt.
Or
Total
Wisconsin.
horrible. Yes.
Or Michigan.
Yeah.
You know,
It's same. All of it basically is just
Yes.
rotten.
Yeah, the cars that, like, I've seen cars that come out of Illinois because they're so big on salt and shit over there that you might as well have them sitting on the coast.
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, even
Those are the ones that you see people just spitting through floorboards in.
even body shop, you know, you'll come in, you can tell. Like a 06 F-150
Yep.
in Illinois is different than 06 F-150 in Arkansas.
I've seen Chevrolet pickups come over, you know, that an inner fender was broke out of or whatever. And all the aluminum brackets that hold the front accessories on is
Gone.
fucking pitted, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what that shit is.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what that's doing to a 40-year-old frame.
I mean, fuck, you about to have a torch taking off fucking wheels off of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like tire
rusted,
changes.
rusted smooth out.
And that's another reason Illinois sucks. It's not only their government.
Can't talk politics.
It's whatever.
I just like taking money out of Illinois and bringing it back to Missouri.
I
We've
like
tried.
that.
Yeah.
We have tried so much to get our buddies from Illinois to move to fucking Missouri.
100%.
We have tried.
Exactly.
I was like, dude, why don't you come over here? He's like, well, I'd love to. Then do it.
Yeah, everything's
Fuck them
cheaper here.
taxes. Fuck them taxes. 7.975 is way cheaper than 10.8.
Exactly.
You know, so we don't want all of them to move. We just want a few.
So on the promotion side of things, what was the stress level there that you thought was going to be there? Because I know we had talked before that, or you know, because I make it sound like a fucking horror story every time I talk about it. But were you stressed the fuck out about it, or was it one of those things that just after you got started, everything was good?
Well, with the most due respect, the most stressful part was dealing with dumbasses
100%. That's how it works.
and the guys that play stupid. But I've been doing this a long time.
It was like that when I bought it.
Yeah, that was factory, but I've looked at 30, 40 of these, very detailed.
I've never seen a tow package 9802. No, I 100% know what you mean there. So did everybody, were they pretty understanding, or did you have to do a lot of fighting in the tech line?
99.9% of people were very respectful and very understanding and admitted and all that jazz. But it was not near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And that was a big thing whenever we were doing it. I never told anybody. I was like, you don't have to tell me what you did. I just want you to go fucking fix it because I know and you know. Go fix it.
And then they sit there and want to still argue with you.
Yeah. You'll get that. Okay.
Yeah.
As they're bowing their head down.
Yeah.
Like a whoop pup.
Because I will never hold that against somebody.
Exactly.
Ever. Like, fuck, I do it. I get it. And sometimes people got shit over on us. Fucking.
Mm-hmm.
You get a gold star.
Congrats,
You get a gold star.
Yeah.
But if we catch it on the next show, just because you had it at the last one, don't mean we're not going to make you cut the shit.
Exactly. The people saying, well, I just ran this one last night. Well, we didn't,
Oh, I got that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Well, this was at your show fucking 3 years ago. I'm like, motherfucker.
I think a few rules have changed in 3 years.
Well, it's not even that. Fuck, they go run, everywhere. I'm not going to. Because I got that shit a lot. Well, I just run at so-and-so show. Yeah.
Who fucking asked?
This isn't his fucking show.
Has Blizzard Bash came into your brain at all?
What do you mean?
Maybe considering...
Well, we was going to go back and run... We got asked to come back and run the national side. But, after dust settled and stuff like that, I ain't running a fucking mod class. Those things hurt me too damn badly. When I'm about to go to sleep, just hitting other cars, I think I need a MRI in my near future to check out what's causing that out. But I have no want to climb back in a mod car.
You aren't the only person that's saying that either.
It hurts so bad.
I've never had the desire to crawl in one motherfucker.
And I'm already probably, when I'm 50, probably going to need a wheelchair to walk around, so...
I rode from the Sturgis Fairgrounds in the track to our pits in the driver's seat getting towed back because the distributor busted.
Mm-hmm.
It hurt just to ride, not hit, not drive on a rough-ass track, just pulling me across the grass. My back was fucked up for 2 days.
Well, that's because you're a pussy.
There's that.
But no, I seen some shit on the internet the other day that I was going to bring up, and fuck Daylan, you can shed some light on it too if you want. But everybody was talking about these classes. They were talking about from the hobo up to the street stock, because that's pretty much what you're seeing right now. These people were like, well, nobody in the crowd likes watching these goddamn street stock cars. They don't bend. I'm like, have you ever been on YouTube? That's my big comeback on that, because, dude, them street stock cars are bending like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
What's cool is they can drive them kind of how they want. So you're actually seeing a better fucking show. Because if take the guys that just run the street stock class, say you had 12 good street stock cars. Take those drivers out and go throw them in 12 hobo cars. That show would last 3 minutes.
Yep.
Correct.
3 fucking minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always my rebuttal on it, but you've always got those 6 people on the internet that's like, well, this fucking class is stupid. People want to see these cars bend.
They're not going to the right shows.
They do want to see the cars bend. Keep watching that street stock class.
Yeah.
Because it's honestly my favorite class to watch. I like it because it's, it's about a step and a half above, what everybody's running for stock rules around here. Mostly everybody. Some people have some stupid fucking rules.
Mm-hmm.
But, mostly
no names.
But, the 6 plates, they're letting the street stocks have 8. stock cars, whenever, with our rules, no bumper bracket. They let the street stock guys have a bumper bracket, maybe a couple more down tubes, braced rear end, tank protector touching. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it's the difference between.
But it is.
Yeah, it's the difference between you jumping your car in one shot and 6.
Yes.
You don't see very many guys going, pulling their drivetrain out of a street stock or a light weld and throwing it in a hobo.
Well, they're not going to
because they
fucking
can't.
Stupid.
Yeah. Correct. I mean, that car is built for 500 horse. This little crackerjack son of a bitch over here ain't.
I guess what I'm getting at is I don't understand why these fucking people are bitching about that. Like, they've got classes for everybody to watch.
Exactly. And just gonna throw this out there. Every year goes by, everybody that drops classes and the street stock class like this year, everything's dwindling down. Like, what do you guys think? We're going to come down there to you guys too.
That's what's going to happen.
So
that's what fucking drives me nuts. And I have tried to tell people this because everybody's concerned about what rules I'm going to run for this team show. It's leaning more toward my old stock rules, which would be the 6 plates, no braced rear end, probably let tank protector touch, like thick cases, all that shit.
I'm going to stop you right there. Somebody did ask. 03s?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to let 03s.
Figured, but I didn't want to answer that until...
Oh, and old iron 03s, whatever, I don't give a fuck. There's going to be stipulations on what you can do and can't do to the 03s. Just as well as what there is you can and can't do to the old iron.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm probably going to do that because I can get the street stock guys to build down.
Exactly.
I can't get the stock guys to build up. And that's like what Daylan just said. They'll come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you keep killing their class.
Yeah, we're going to come to your
where they, and then the progression is going to start right the fuck back.
Yep, you're going to go back to the fucking mod class, and then when we go back to mod class, and then everybody's going to go down to the next one, and then we're just going to keep following you the whole time. It's a
And that's the thing that kills me is because a lot of these guys, I have to build down. But that's the thing. Once you run it once, you can build that bitch back up.
Yes.
You can put more plates on it. You can put a bumper bracket on it. You can't do that.
Especially if there's a street stock guy building down to the stock class, because I guarantee you they can go find a good, heavy-built rear end that's not braced. That's basically all you need. Because the rest of your setup will go in the other car.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like, it's all interchangeable.
Yeah, especially with, because we let replica bumpers in. We're not asking you you can run your solid wheels. I don't give a fuck. Actually, you're an idiot. Go ahead and run them.
Yeah, if you want to break an axle right off.
Run those on your 31 spline 9-inch.
Yeah.
Get with it. I'm not going to make a big deal about that.
You know,
I will make a big deal if you try to lock an LS with a thick case into the fucking firewall. Like, that's where these people need to be focused.
Correct.
Not scary bumpers and fucking wheels.
Yeah, no shit.
Those are coil pack protectors. Fucking half-inch steel that comes up and touches the firewall.
Goes from your bell housing and goes all the way up your engine and attaches to the front plate.
Jesus Christ. And you don't mind if it's touching your dash bar?
Non-zero.
But you got to focus on the right side of the rules whenever you're doing that shit.
Exactly.
But that's what I keep trying to explain to these guys. And then every year that they run the stock class, the next year they're like, well, we want just a little bit. Like, give us a 6-inch bumper bracket. I'm like, run the fucking street stock class.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's like cars showing up at Shell Biner that are showing up tilted for the stock class. Like, if you want to run a fucking street stock car, build a fucking street stock car. Don't bring a fucking tilted twice car to my show that is, and then bitch because we're not going to let you in with it. Or I make you do some ungodly shit to it, to be fair.
I can't afford one of them postal mobile rear ends. Go buy a 14 bolt.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did. I put a picture up on my Facebook the other day. It looked like shit, but it did the job.
Correct.
I built it with a torch and a fucking welder.
Go buy a 14 bolt that has 410 gears in it. Most of them are posi-track anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to a scrapyard, $250 fucking dollars. You can walk out of there with a 14 bolt. Now, where's your excuse now?
That have factory 35 spline axles.
38 spline.
Yeah.
Are they the 8?
They're 38.
Yeah. They're focusing on the wrong end of that build.
There's so many people that don't want to do their
They should be
homework.
worried about the $6,000 transmission.
Yeah.
Correct. A lot of these guys,
And they don't even need that. Go fucking
buy a transfer.
Go buy a motherfucking 4L60.
Yep.
You might blow the fucking, you might get 2 runs out of it, but same thing.
you're
Go
not
spend
out
another
much.
$250 on another training.
Yep. Yeah. There's just so many guys out there that just don't want to do just a little bit of homework.
They just want to give it to them. That's what I fucking can't stand.
It drives me insane. You have the world at your fucking disposal. Everybody's
got a cell
Whenever you're
phone.
driving down the road looking at that motherfucker, use Google.
You could probably have Google read it back to you.
It drives me fucking insane.
I think that's the trial. Most of these motherfuckers don't know how to read.
There's pictures.
They want 90% of the derby guys anymore that they just want it given to them. They don't want to have to put in the time. They don't want to have to put in, you got to put in your time to get to the top.
It took me 5 of those fucking Mopars before I got one that I could even drive. 5 of them motherfuckers. Before I got one that I could make a comfortable hit with, back up and fucking do it again.
Exactly. Like you don't know how many Snapchats I get a day. Like, hey, how would you do this? How would you do that? But I don't want to seem like a fucking asshole. But
it sure is going to sound like one.
Yeah, I won't tell you what it took me years to learn.
And there's a difference between asking for fucking advice and then asking for somebody to do something.
Exactly. Like I'll nudge you. I'll get your wheels turning a little bit, but I'm not gonna draw it out on a piece of paper.
Well, every time I'd run one of these Mopars, after I'd junk it, the front end was fucking sitting up in the air, the goddamn floorboard was split wide open on it. I'd take it home, take the motor and shit out of it, and start tearing into it. Where the fuck did it bend? Why did it bend there? Flip it over on its side.
Exactly.
Look underneath the
And if you notice that on most of these bigger name car guys too, they will after they completely junk a car, they will take the whole body off the frame still and look at everything that happened. How different loads affect the frame and all that.
How, where, and why.
It took me 3 runs of putting plates on one of these to figure out, because I put a couple of plates on one of them and it didn't do a fucking thing. I was like, well, I just wasted time. Well, not on it.
Well, it comes back to this. Daylan will put his plates probably 95% of the time in the exact same place. You might have the exact same car, but your plates ain't fucking close.
No, we've talked about that.
Or you try to match it, and then it does weird shit.
Well, we've talked about it. He may drive different than
Correct.
the other guy.
Yes.
Which will make a frame bend differently.
We've said that.
Even a different bumper choice will make your front car bend
What
90
if you weld
like
the bumper
crazy.
on the end of the fucking frame rail?
Yes, the geometry on the end of the frame rail. It's crazy. The load on the end. There's 9,000 variables that can happen.
You might load a passenger rail
Yes.
more than you do
Well,
a
that's
driver's
why
rail, but he might load the driver's rail more.
That's why I run a pointy bumper, because it is hard to load one side with a pointy bumper. So that's why I run pointies on everything.
But they're scary.
Yeah, scary. Go hurt somebody.
Put a goddamn down tube there. Shut the fuck up.
It don't even make any sense because it's not like these are 7-8 inch tall pointies that have a slant slope of maybe, I don't even know, it ain't even that bad of a degree.
No.
It's not like it's a spear.
It's not like the fucking old log splitters whenever people were first building bumpers.
Yeah, exactly. The little bitty,
that
little
17
7-inch
fucking inch
Well,
points.
look,
that go
7
out.
inches
fucking log
wide,
splitter.
60-degree point.
Yes.
That-
Sharp.
Yeah, let's
Dumb
just drive
shit.
that bitch right through the
Yeah.
fucking door
Yes.
bar. Yeah, it's...
Well, I don't know, and I know that you're into the teching side of things. If somebody showed up with a double door bar on the driver's side,
I wouldn't care.
there you go.
I wouldn't give a damn.
I have told motherfuckers this and told motherfuckers this. I was
Exactly.
like, you shut up about my bumper rule and build your fucking cage to the bumper.
It's an extra $30, for that tubing.
2x3.
Yeah.
Whatever. What the fuck ever you want to put down there.
Yeah.
And it as long as it's 4 inches off the floor and it covers your leg area,
You're not giving a fuck.
yeah, don't give a fuck.
Because you guys had to do that last year at Bowling Green. Not Bowling Green, at Pleasant Hill.
Yeah.
Because the car that you took was built for a rider. You could have a little bit more safety in the cage and the door skin.
Mm-hmm.
You pulled the seat out. They wanted you to cut that shit out.
Yeah, they wanted us to cut the door skin off of it.
So instead of that, you said, fuck this.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm mounting a seat in this bitch. And let little Chris get all burned up. And
burn up and break his ribs. His poor little ribs, poor Quissy Poo.
You
But-
got killed, poor little Chris.
Poor little, he's sitting there waving at my dad out the window to back off. My dad told him to get fucked. You suck my dick from the back.
there it is. But I struggle from that front door scene to the tank protector. I struggle with them saying, no, you can only have this, you can only have that, you can only have that.
I mean, I can see why they're with it back by the tank protector. I can see why.
Right, but I'm talking from your fucking rear down to
Yes,
the front down
yes,
to
I don't give a
anything you do
fuck.
in between there, inside that body.
Yeah,
I do not give one fuck.
An inch off the floor so we can see you ain't got that all tied into it. I don't give a shit.
Because if they're running down tubes that's already welded to the top of the fucking frame, like you're already holding everything
Yeah,
in between
yeah,
there.
exactly. And people don't understand too. Weight affects that. Weight affects fucking how cars react that hit you and how you hit them.
Mm-hmm.
They just it's.
Oh, I know. I couldn't run those back two down tubes out there at Whisky City and fucking Chad Bostic hit the passenger side. Like, really, it didn't do anything like actually damage wise, but it looked fucking devastating because it moved my whole cage.
Yeah.
Like, it pivoted on the front two down tubes. And everybody's like, why is the fucking doors pushed out? I was like, because I didn't have those two goddamn back down tubes.
Yep.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't have done any of that shit.
Exactly.
So I'm all for down tubes. I want them welded to the frame.
Mm-hmm.
They all need to be there. That needs to be, I think everybody should allow that. I don't give a fuck what class it is. That
Even the
shit-
hobo.
That, if you...
Yeah, that's fine in the hobo too. You know,
If
I don't,
you're
as long as
allowing
it's
a fucking 4-point cage, let them have down tubes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's still got plenty of fucking places to bend.
100%.
Yeah.
Without killing the driver.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we know those shots happen.
Oh, I've
You're
had,
going to take a door shot, and we've said it.
I had a guy come up to me at Paris after the derby was over. He's like, that dude had 5 down tubes in that car. I was like, there's one by his goddamn leg, like, on the driver's side. I was like, that was welded to sheet metal. We were only supposed to have 4. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, what do you think that's doing? I was like, is that why you lost?
Yeah, you probably
Because
lost
I'm
because
pretty
you.
sure you went out in like the first 3 hits, and it wasn't him that hit you.
It's probably from that flux core welded bumper on your fucking car. You know, people don't understand. People bitch about the guys that put effort in their cars, and then they're not even putting close to the effort as you know.
2-week bill.
Yeah,
And that's just the weekends.
that's the
Because they're not
longer
touching
of
the shit during
yeah,
the week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, you got people coming in bitching about bumpers and stuff whenever they won't fix a rusted box. You know,
exactly. Like
Like, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen here? Like, I can stick my whole hand
Mm-hmm.
inside the frame rail.
On the passenger side.
or a loose body bolt. You know, fucking why don't you fucking tighten this up, buddy? And no, I was kind of a dick here, but at Lewistown, there's this boy that pulled up. I'm not gonna say any names, but I get underneath there looking against this car, and I see a shifter, his linkage, his nuts about 2 threads on there. I didn't say a fucking word. But you know what? After he made 2 hits and it fell off, he couldn't go reverse. Next day at Shelbina, it was on there right that time.
Correct. That's that.
That's your
Double
time.
check,
That's
triple
your
check,
time.
yep.
You know, it takes me when I do my wiring and my adjusting of my shifter and all that shit. That shit that can take you out in an instant. Other than my putting roll pins in my fucking oversized nuts on my spindles. But it takes me probably 2 to 3 days to do it all correctly because everything is soldered, everything is neatly ran. Nothing's gonna, when it comes up or moves, if it does move, is gonna bind up or any. maybe my steering shaft. It's been happening a lot here lately, but I think I need to get one of them sky high.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's the sky high.
I've been wanting one.
Yeah, I've been eye fucking one of those for a while.
I want to get one so I can dissect it.
I know. And you know what it is? It's a fucking rotor thing that they stick
Yes,
down on the...
100%.
Yeah!
That's exactly what I said. I was like, I wonder if I could just pull our fucking rotor apart.
It is cool. I mean, I
I
have
had one
got
of
to
my buddies
look at
send
it, but
one.
I haven't got to.
Dude, yeah, but I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, but the fucking shaft is bowed all the way out to the damn... The driver's side tire.
Yeah, it looks like it's about to get caught in the fucking wheel.
Yeah, and still been able to turn that fucking thing.
That's fucking cool. And I'm
For
kind
a
of pissed
good-
off.
for a good
Yeah.
price.
And, you know, and lately, you know, if a car bends just a little bit in the horns, that knuckle's locked up on
The one that comes right out of the
Yeah,
box
the ones that
every
comes out
time.
of the- every time.
And all it's got to do is take a fucked up weird shot
just
and
a
just
little
goes,
bit of a bubble, and it is getting
Yep.
locked up.
Yeah, that.
Well,
That's that progression shit. You know what it's came to, because 4 or 5 years ago, a ski steering shaft everybody had big
Not me.
motherfucker with splines, and you didn't have an issue.
Why the fuck did you need them anyway, though? I don't understand. Like,
that's what I always say.
what's making you break your steering shaft? You're
I never
not
see a
break-
shaft go.
You're not breaking your fucking shaft.
Well, and anybody that ever ended up with one bent, it was because they bottomed out.
yeah,
it
exactly.
wasn't-
You're not
it
putting.
wasn't
You only
the
have 3
diameter.
inches of fucking slide in it. You
It
know.
wasn't the diameter of it that was causing the bend. It was the fact that the motherfucker was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was going to do what a solid piece of fucking steel will do.
Exactly.
U-joints only can take so much shit. Period.
You know, you put 8 inches. If you fucking use all 8 inches of slide of that, your car is toast. Fucking toast.
Well, I had seen another cool deal that was they were going for that sky high aspect, and I think they had 5 fucking U joints
All fucking put together.
down through,
Yeah.
and with a little bit of spacing between them. I understand the fucking concept.
Could you imagine
but-
having to replace one of them and have to time it? That'd be
Ugh.
absolutely
Oh, fuck
terrible.
around.
Yeah.
But there was either 4
Fuck
or
that,
5
give
of
me a
them
new fucking
motherfuckers.
shaft.
I knew what they were trying.
Yeah.
And I commend them. That's that.
Yeah.
That's that shit that people try. I'm not saying it hasn't crossed my mind, but I was like, that's ignorant. I'm not doing that.
Well, you did say somebody's coming over your house in a week or two.
Oh yeah.
He's got one.
Yep.
So maybe you can have him bring it to dissect it, because I don't know if he's got any. No, he's got a lot left. He'll take that bitch somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm going to ask. You run big shit. You've run Blizzard Bash. You've run Whisky City. You're going to Gold Rush. You got any bucket list type of show?
We're gonna run Spring Explosion next year.
That was a fucking good
Hey,
time.
hey, you going to go this year, pussy?
I don't know.
Dad hasn't decided
That's
if he's
right,
gonna take an
comment.
Imperial or a Suicide yet. He's kind of partial to the Suicides, and we haven't seen one there yet. So he might be taking one of them. But I do want to go out and run out in Utah one time and shit like that. It looks like a blast.
We'll be able to tell you how fun it is now.
Yeah. Say, Jared Johnson's invited me down there to come stay with him, and and I know he's gonna come up. He's gonna come up and show me how to build trunks.
He put on a really good show.
Yep.
Because we did say we're not going to cover any derbies for a week or two. But if anybody, they can go to Track Shot Live, go watch Utah. I don't even want to talk about it because the show was that good. You need to go watch it. Free 99, Track Shot Live, Heber City, Utah. You can watch Friday and Saturday. And it's worth sitting down for 4 or 5 hours and watching it because they fuck some shit up.
I tell you what them guys do, putting that on for free, really, it says a lot about them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Their time and devotion in doing it and not getting hardly shit out of it.
Yeah, they
Sounds like promoting.
sounds a lot like promoting. A lot.
Or podcasting.
But man, we do get to go to Gold Rush. We have that invite out. Hotels are gotten.
Where y'all staying at?
The one downtown.
Is that the Monument one?
No, we're staying at the Monument.
Yeah, it's
That one.
Yeah,
It's not downtown. It's right across from
right
the.
across. Yeah, it's the one that Sam told me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the Monument.
We're going down like
Which I don't know
a week
about you,
early.
I couldn't believe how fucking cheap the room
Dude,
was.
I'm telling you, you go try to buy a fucking room for Blizzard Bash.
Oh yeah, you're
And
looking
It's
at.
like
compared to
$4
there-
million bucks.
Yeah, no joke either.
Well, that's what. Whenever we went out there, and I run an 18 at Blizzard Bash, I told everybody I'd never take another fucking car.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were out there the whole fucking week. We got out there what, Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah, we left Wednesday fucking morning. We were out there from Wednesday until Monday. And I think we ended up having like $6,000
Yeah.
in the fucking trip out.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't the bill.
Yeah, no joke.
Like, that was not even the fucking hobo car that I took out there.
Yeah. And
The
then
fucking
like,
hotel was like $1,500.
yeah,
It's a joke.
it's no fucking joke, man.
I could have stayed at Big Al's cheaper. For fucking week.
For dollar beers, you could have. And steaks, but
That's why we stayed where we did at Blizzard Bash.
yeah, that's where
Well,
I've said it.
we
I never
tried
got to
staying at
stay
the
up there.
casino there. You know, you think it's a good idea because it's cheaper until you're fucking up all night working on your car, and then you got to drive 30 minutes to your fucking hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck every bit
So
of that.
yeah, if I brought another car, hint hint, limited weld and street stock guys for 2024, but I would have to stay right there on site. I ain't doing that shit again. So, and then having two cars there from the same shop. Speaking of like how much builds cost,
Yeah.
having to bring double the parts,
Oh, yeah.
double fucking everything there. Is
I mean, people don't think.
Well,
So
because-
you're taking not just one car. If you're going to take two, you're not just taking two extra wheels and tires.
Yeah.
You're taking two fronts for one car, two fronts for the other, two rears for the.
Like
I mean,
we had Brock Smith, his whole truck was rounded up and the bed of it full of tires for us.
yeah.
Well, I mean-
and then spare drive shafts,
Yeah.
spare.
I was surprised at how cheap it was to go to Whisky City.
Yeah,
You know, I probably didn't have $1,000 in that trip out there.
We
And I went out. When the fuck did we go out to that?
y'all went out Thursday morning.
Went out Thursday morning, and we were there till, and I did leave Sunday for that one.
and we had two rooms. It was like $1,400 for both rooms for like 4 fucking days,
Dude, I
Yeah.
stayed in a suite.
and they were suites.
I stayed in a suite with a living room, and it was 200 and
It was
40
600 and something
yeah.
for the whole time.
I don't know. We stayed with another couple because we had double bed room, and it cost us like $400 the whole fucking time we were out there. I was like, this I can handle,
Yeah,
but $1,500 to stay out at fucking Blizzard Bash.
we
fuck that.
looked at a room at the Ramada
And-
with 3 beds in it. It was $2,000. $2,000 fucking dollars.
because somebody is
And
going to
that-
fucking buy that. Somebody's going to pay for
But
it.
that goddamn Capitol Plaza is not what it used to be.
No.
When I started going out there
No.
in 15. You know, fuck that place.
Like I said, I've never got to stay there just because I've.
They're like, oh, you got the amenities. I'm like, yeah.
What
fuck
amenities?
you. I said,
Don't-
I'm drunk as fuck when I come in this motherfucker, just trying to get to an elevator that's already congested as fuck. So
15
I'm
million
sitting there, I'm
fucking
like,
people.
oh, I'm gonna fuck you, lay down.
The only amenity that thing has got that any derby guy would use
Is being able to walk to it?
share parking lot. That's the only fucking
Yes.
thing where you can get out, leave your shit inside, or put it
I
in a
used
barn
to
and
pull there
walk.
one fucking time.
Nobody's ever got time.
No. No.
Not if you're there to work on shit or
And you
have
still
a
gotta pay
car.
for the fucking breakfast there too, I'm pretty sure.
And it ain't worth a fuck.
No! Tell you what though, Ramada does have a good fucking breakfast.
Yeah. And like the only other option right there by the arena out at Blizzard Bash is fucking Sonic.
Sonic
Yeah.
And that motherfucker is packed all the time.
All the time.
Go-karts.
All the fucking time.
with golf carts.
Yes.
Yeah, just golf
I
carts.
walked over there one morning and they're like, hey, just to let you know we're out of everything. I was like, well, then I'll have nothing.
I wonder if
Cool.
the boy that stole Rob's golf cart took it through Sonic before he took it down the
Probably.
road.
Probably.
You know, that guy woke up the next morning, he's like, fuck.
I should have
not
done that.
Because mine was there this last year, and then it triggered. Rob's golf cart got stole. I was like, man, do I really want to send my fucking golf cart out there for them dudes? There's not insurance on them. I mean, it's not like
No.
you put them on there, so you're just taking that. Well, no, it's not going to be up. Okay. So
Speaking of hotels again, like even Airbnbs are higher than fuck there.
out
Well,
there,
they know what's
Yeah.
going on. And the motherfuckers that are going out there, nobody take offense to this, but they'll fucking spend it. Like they will. Well, even my dumbass that don't have any money, I'll spend it. Because I do. It's fucking ignorant.
hey, how much did you spend this past year?
On what?
Blizzard Bash.
None.
Got to
Fucking
watch that
easy.
back
Watch
from
it
my
at
house,
home.
though, didn't
And you
it?
probably have to pay for it watching at home.
80, $89
Yeah.
for 5
Yeah.
And then
events.
you get to watch it.
Yeah, then you can watch it replay for 30 days after that.
Your back don't hurt. Fucking walking on that concrete
Yeah.
all week. You ain't hung over every fucking day. I mean,
Well,
I don't know about
easy.
Steven though, but
Easy.
He covered the hangover part.
And
Don't
if
think
you're
he
like
didn't.
me and you're tired and you need to take a nap, it's a whole lot easier to do it at home than
She's
it is
falling asleep
in
at
the
Blizzard
sand
Bash.
at Blizzard
oh yeah.
Bash.
My
With
dad was about falling asleep, but not from, it wasn't from anything like
sitting
that.
in
It's
the
from
bleachers and
Kelly
I just laid
slinging
my head
moonshine
over.
around.
Usually the third night of any derby that we go to, Lish is like, ah, fuck this. 9 o'clock on the third night. She's like, I'm going back to the fucking room.
I made it till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
She was a fucking trooper the whole time. She was
At Peoria?
phenomenal. No, at Blizzard
Blizzard
Bash.
Bash.
She was phenomenal. She stood in that tent the whole time, ran and got parts, anything we needed. She was on it. She's been solid.
Yeah, I had her running fucking retarded out there at Whisky
Yeah.
City because, like, we kind of finished my car out there. Like, there was a little
Oh
bit
my
of shit. Well, it wasn't anything like big. It was like 2 hood bolts and
Oh, the
some.
number 9 wire.
At Blizzard Bash this past year, we was in there with PJ sharing a tent with him, and one of the boys showed up. He didn't even, his car wasn't creased. He didn't have a radiator in it. He didn't have hood
Okay.
built.
Okay, so mine was like just like I had to put some number 9 wire in it and like 2 bolts,
Mhm.
and then my throttle was sticking when I got out there, and I went over to John's little setup, went and bought a $15 spring,
Mhm.
fixed that shit. But like you couldn't put the number 9 wire in until after tech because all the shit, hood and shit had to come off of it. So it was mostly that bullshit. But yeah, I didn't have any padding or anything in it because everybody gives me shit about taking my fucking putting a pillow on my B pillar. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, we buy like bundle amounts of pool noodles. Like we buy everywhere out. Like people are probably pissed off at us during the summertime because we buy all
My
the
kid
pool.
don't have no pool noodles because Daylan and Cody fucking take it all.
We buy
Fuck them
everything.
kids. Better get them a life jacket.
That's right.
I got lime green, orange. I got whatever the fuck you need.
But I have to move my seat back
Mhm.
so far in the cars because I like my legs straight out in front of me when I'm running.
Yeah, I don't know that problem. I'm vertically challenged.
I think he's got to move the pedals back.
Oh no.
Oh no! you
No,
gotta put
I
it
want them
back.
bitches far forward. I will straight up break my kneecaps with the front bar if I need to.
But I like my fucking legs more so.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
So we always move my seat back about 4 inches behind the factory mounting
Mm-hmm.
holes. Well, at that point, you're at the fucking pillow.
Oh, for sure.
Well, the first time I didn't put a pillow on that bitch, I took a nap.
Yeah, I went night.
And it wasn't near as comfy without the pillow.
And them fucking headaches are the worst, aren't
Oh,
they?
dude.
Oh, they're so bad.
What's weird is you can hear the fucking helmet.
Oh,
during
yeah.
The headache. Like, that's what you keep replaying. You're like, fuck. Because a helmet makes a different sound when it hits metal.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's dropped a helmet on the ground or whatever.
Mhm.
Slap that motherfucker up against the car with your head in it.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I've done it in a cheap helmet and I've done it in a expensive helmet. They're both the same. So
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, what the fuck is wrong with the top of your helmet? I was like, it's the fucking roof.
yeah.
Yep.
And even I'm vertically challenged and still have that. Like you come across there, you were hopping.
After you get the front suspension and the rear suspension, like we pulled
I run foam filled tires and everything, so it's there's no give up
Like
there.
we had that ass end of that Mopar pulled down, with shock spacers in there, so that motherfucker was solid. Chained it, had 2 A-arm straps on the front of it. So I mean, that motherfucker was solid. Well, you get to going across a rough ass track. That's why you will see me at every derby I run bitching at a skid loader guy. I'm
Yep.
like, while they're fucking pulling them cars off, go out there and Like, make some laps.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you
But you gotta get somebody that knows the fuck they're doing, not the guys running the teeth fucking. That looks like a wave out.
Yeah, because then you get air.
Yeah, exactly. You come across there,
Well,
you
that
bite your
track-
fucking tongue off.
That track was so fucking rough at Madison and the feature that I broke a fucking A-arm strap.
Yeah.
Like where the weld was, like it fucking broke from bouncing across there. But yeah, I've went across the track and been like, wop, 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 wop. I'm like, God damn it. Fucking head stuck in. Fuck.
I can't see fucking shit out of this thing.
I'm serious. I've hit the fucking brakes before. Like, Jesus Christ. Let me see if I
Same.
if I can get off the fucking boundary. You know, it felt like I was in a goddamn rhythm out there.
Feel like Little John in a fucking
Yeah.
lowrider, fucking hydraulics.
It's like, Jesus fuck. When did I hit the whoop section out here? But yeah, the fucking seat choice plays a factor.
No joke. You probably run like a Camaro seat for your big
I
ass.
actually I prefer like a manual seat out
Yep,
of a Crown Vic.
that's what I do too. I run them out with a P71.
And then I cut the bottom of them off.
I don't do that. I gotta
and
put
lay
stilts on
them-
mine.
Like the track. I cut them off and lay them motherfuckers
Yep.
right on the floor.
See, I put 3x3 on bottom of mine, and so they don't fuck up and break.
And that's the difference between 6'3".
And 5'7". we both weigh about the same, but
Because my wife was wanting to run my car, and I was like, you can't restrict me.
no.
Or
Because that's what
pedals.
everybody else gives me shit about. Dude, my steering wheel is like way the fuck up there.
Like y'all can't see it right now, but he is seriously holding his arm straight the fuck out. And that's where his steering wheel is.
Like if Steven tried to drive my car, did you see Trey when he drove Keith's car at Bowling Green?
No, that's why she got
Yeah, that's why he got fucked all the way up.
Well, so I was trying to help Micah bleed his fucking brakes the other day, and I was like, where do you want me to set? Like, I can't get in this fucking thing. He's got a race seat in there.
It's like a
this
14
wide.
or 15 inch race seat. It's not, I mean, you can't get your leg in that fucking
No.
race seat.
Speaking of Micah, how's he liking that car?
He's really like, if he can get a motor lined out in it, he'll like it a lot more.
Say he hadn't even bent it yet, has he?
No,
it hasn't bent.
Well, Mike Brown drove the motor.
Yeah, if Mike can't fucking bend it, you ain't gonna bend that car. It was a good one.
And
when
he
we
was
built
trying
it.
to.
Yeah, it was a good one when we built it.
So what's up for, is it just shop time now?
House time mostly, a little bit of shop time. Like I'm putting 2 additions on my house, completely finishing a basement, basically doing everything on the inside, and then putting them 2 add-ons on, getting everything
that.
ready. I mean, me and her got five little nigglets.
Together?
So, yeah.
Y'all must,
Yeah.
y'all's relationship must be decent because we can't hardly do laundry without getting a fucking fight.
Oh, there's sometimes, man.
The 2 edition.
There's sometimes I want to suplex her little blonde ass. But yeah,
Well, that's the thing. When after you guys got together, you test drove her, is what I'm going to say. Because you guys weren't together that long. Then you had Blizzard Bash, right?
exactly.
So she's a fucking trooper at Blizzard Bash.
She goes in the shop and welds shit for me. Like if I'm holding shit, she'll tack it up for me. She knows how to do all that. She can change oil in my car if I fucking need it.
And then you
Like-
turn around and you take her to
Whiskey.
Whiskey City.
Yep, and she was crying after I won. She was so happy. 'Cause she knows how nervous I was.
What was that, bitch?
Cayman Jack.
You guys have drank all the good stuff out of the refrigerator?
Them actually aren't bad.
No, these are fucking
Oh, those are
phenomenal.
good. But they will cause a monster fucking headache.
Have you tried them
This
Monster
hasn't been
Beasts?
open, but it's been sitting here
There's one in the refrigerator, too.
for a minute.
Man up,
Give
fool.
it all shotgun, motherfucker. Fuck you, that's hot.
It's cool. It's cool.
It's air
No, like
conditioned.
temperature hot, like spicy hot.
Yeah.
Well,
Have you tried them Monster Beasts yet?
No.
I've got one.
I'm just gonna say they're really, really good, but I won't ever try one again because every time I look at one now, I get PTSD from being at Rob's house.
There's a lot of people
I
I, think they
vomited
get
a lot that
PTSD
night.
from that place.
If I had PTSD from anything I'd done at Rob's house, I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Let's just say
Rob's taking a
I
nap.
get more PTSD whenever somebody says Kelly's name.
No joke, dude. My dad won't even get around Kelly when he's by himself anymore.
When it's party time.
The most drunk I've ever seen my dad in my fucking life is at Blizzard Bash because she hit him with the moonshine. Him and Ted were pretty lit up. Ted was lit up in driver's meeting that night, or in the heat
In the pit
draws.
party. That's the price
We've talked
you play.
about that shit before because I know that anybody that's run a car has run one when they shouldn't have been running a car. I mean, mine was Salisbury. Whenever me and Teddy made it straight, we walked through our fucking heat, and we'd have to do shit to the cars.
You were drunk at my house on the way to Salisbury.
Yes, sir. And they had to help me get in the fucking car to go out to the beach. My buddy was riding with me and the starter went out. And like I could see the starter, through the firewall. Well, I had this motherfucker shoved in the floorboard with like my foot on his back. I'm like, get the fucking starter.
One year we ran Pleasant Hill back in the OG 60 inches of plate and kicker days, and my dad got pretty tanked before every Pleasant Hill show because they hurt so fucking bad.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like, all right, grab these beers when we're done. We're going to have a victory drink. So we're in there, and about 30 seconds in, Mike Brown puts him on the wall, and he said, well, give me one of them beers. At least we got a good show to watch the rest of the Derby.
Best seat in the house, ain't
Yep.
it?
And I'm sitting looking at him, and I said, you dumb motherfucker.
Well,
Let's finish this up. I got a couple more questions for him.
get it.
Out of everything that you've run so far, where has been your favorite show?
My very favorite show to run. Definitely Pleasant Hill. I love Pleasant Hill's track. I love the atmosphere, and I like the people. I made a lot of new friends and learned a lot of new shit running the big shows. But I like to stay with the people I've known for a long time, and
we're gonna get this out now. We did fuck around a little bit when somebody was talking about not being able to weld good, about somebody's bumper coming off at said Pleasant Hill.
Yep.
We had to verify that wasn't a bumper removal. That was frame rails ripped the fuck off.
Bumper bracket was even still on it too. Part of the bumper bracket. Yeah, it was a bad deal. It fucked up everything.
Everything.
Well, that was like over there, whatever.
Did you guys not see a Snapchat the other day? That horn that I posted on my story.
Yes.
Yeah, that was from that car.
That needs to be hung on the fucking wall.
Yeah, that's bad. It had a half inch thick ski
Contour.
a gearbox adapter plate.
Adapter
I didn't
plate?
need an adapter plate, but you could have one. You
Correct.
know. So I had it on there, and it completely fucking foobarred that thing.
Why not? That's a second fucking. That's an extra bumper bracket
Yeah,
for that
exactly.
thing.
For the inside, and on a 98 though too, you do it right. Fucking. Yeah, it's,
You know how many people are going to listen to that and be like, motherfucker, why didn't I think of that?
that's fucking cheating.
Second question.
Go ahead.
You said you had another one.
Oh,
So you had a couple.
I was gonna ask, like, where, like, we all know how you got started in the sport, but
Mm-hmm.
when did you decide that you were like, yeah, fuck it, I want to do this? This is
Well, my very first derby, like, you know, a lot of these guys are getting their feet wet in, 10, 15 car derbies. My first derby had 150 cars in it. And I got third place in it. Yeah. And that's where I knew I wanted to do it, but I knew I didn't want to run a manual for all my fucking life. So, and that's what my dad was in, he's like 3-speeds, Borg-Warner transmissions. Fuck that.
I've told everybody I don't think I've got the coordination for it.
It's horrible. It's horrible, especially without we didn't run hydraulic throwout bearing clutches or.
It was just manual cable.
It was
fucking-
cable, fucking big ass pressure plates. You stand on you go after about 30 minutes. You go and sit in a pile of dead cars and let your leg rest. I ran Lebanon one time, and Justin Worsig rode with me, and we pull up in these pile of dead cars. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Is everything all right? I'm like, dude, my fucking leg hurts. You gotta give me a minute.
Austin Kennor said the same thing.
It's horrible.
He said by the time halfway through the feature at Spring X this year, he said my leg
And that's whenever he was like, fuck it.
go time.
Yeah, and when you run them too, you got to decide if you're going to clutch when you hit or if you're going to drive straight the fuck through them. So, and I don't like that either. There's so many variables in 10 feet that can happen.
Well, you've got options with that fucking automatic.
Yeah, I can.
You're not
I
gonna
can
kill
hit
your car if you get on the brakes real hard.
Exactly. As long as you don't ride your brakes when you're shifting and fucking driving, you're fine. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guarantee you, I'd be trying to feed my fucking door to somebody and kill my car.
Oh.
And then somebody else would take the fucking wheel off the back. You know?
Yeah.
Because with that automatic, I can lock that bitch up. They can apologize for me fucking them out of the shot, and then I can back up.
Yeah.
It's cool having a reliability, whatever, on the fucking of the manual, whatever you think, but I like to reliably outdrive your fucking ass with one,
the problem is with even 3, 4, 5 speeds, I still see them go out.
Yeah.
I see shifters break the fuck off.
And they're slow.
And I've seen people, whenever they're getting pushed, everything's happening so fast, they don't realize, hey, I need to be on the fucking brakes to get this motherfucker in reverse.
And people with 5 speeds, they don't understand that if you don't clutch when you hit, you will break that transmission every single fucking time. Every time. You have to clutch when you hit. Have to. Or you'll break it.
And I've seen so many goddamn shifters pull out of the floor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm terrible about holding on to shit whenever I...
you can't hold on to the gear shift when you hit it either.
And I will. I know me. I'll be punching the fucking dashboard with it. You know?
I've seen it.
Because I've got a 4-speed.
Cody ran one in Warrenton last year in Gary's car, and he got out, and I said, "How'd you like that?" He's like, "Fuck that, I'll never do that again."
Mm-hmm.
So he broke 2 of his knuckles on hitting the front bar with it.
Yeah.
Dash bar going forward, hand slipped off.
I would take the shifter with me.
Cody has little hands.
I've seen. How long has Kyle Pudwitter done it?
Long time.
Cordell Hansen.
Does Cordell run a 5-speed?
He used to.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. Then he came to the dark side.
Yeah, the good side.
But then he started having problems with
Transmission
with the shifters getting in between.
I mean everything with the automatic. You have to shim converter. You have to make sure your shifter's all perfectly, and I mean fucking perfectly. Because even if your shift is a little bit in and out, it will burn a tranny up fast.
Yep.
If you have your foot sitting,
burn that shit around.
It gets expensive, don't it?
Yeah. Well, you already have the odds stacked against you with a Mopar transmission, but whenever the shifter's not fucking right, because mine neutral and reverse were the same thing at Quincy. So it was pulling but wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I burnt the motherfucker up.
Exactly, because in reverse, you don't have that extra throw to fucking get it right. At least if it's in the forward gear, you can throw it to the other.
Yes, you can find second or whatever it be. But in reverse, it was going up against my park lockout, but it wasn't enough.
Yep.
I've had them, like when I throw them in, like when I tell you I shim mine and stuff, I've had it where I thought training went out of it, sitting in the shop. And it was just because it was just a little bit out of whack.
And there's the deal. It's not
even people don't understand tire weight too has effect. Your gearing has effect on how fast that torque converter spins, and all that has effect on everything.
Well, then you go right back to what's in front of all of it.
Exactly.
Because you can't pull a transmission that's been behind a 700 horse motor and throw it behind one that's putting out 200 horse.
Yep.
With the same torque converter and all that shit, it won't work.
Nope. Same gearing, it ain't gonna work.
One might want a 2,000 stall, the other one might want a 3,000 stall.
Or none.
Yeah.
Stock one, you ain't gonna need no stall.
Right.
At all.
Because I don't have any stall in mine. I mean, it's fucking stock. A little bit of cam.
I tried one time. I had a pretty good sized engine, and I didn't have hardly any stall in it. Every time you put it in gear, it'd die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can't keep up. I mean, it's got to have something behind it. So, well, let's get this guy to go and finish his house. It's not like he's going to be able to finish the motherfucker in a day.
Oh, you can eat shrimp tonight. So.
Oh! We're going to Red Lobster.
Yeah. Sure. She's actually one of the only women I know that like seafood. So.
Well, you only like shrimp. You don't like crawfish.
No, it tastes like shit.
But we found out he likes gator.
This nasty bitch here. she fucking separates, sucks on the head and everything. I'm like, oh, you a nasty Cajun bitch, aren't you?
See, most
Go with him.
most men would be happy that she was sucking on the head.
I knew you was gonna go there. I really
Dude, I'll
did.
fuck up some crawfish.
But
I like crawfish tails. I don't like the smell of the whole crawfish, though.
yeah. So let's let them get to all you can eat shrimp. We will definitely be in South Dakota. So we'll catch up there. I think we're going to probably do some kind of snippets over the 4 days. Maybe make
Yeah, because
one
they're setting us up in a badass spot.
media side.
When y'all going again?
When are we going out?
Yeah.
Tuesday night, Wednesday morning at like 3 in the
What's
morning.
the date of that?
November 1st.
The 1st.
Oh, I'll be in South Dakota.
Yeah, you guys will
Yeah,
already be
yeah,
there.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Well, when y'all going to Utah?
Yeah, we may.
September 15th.
Oh, yeah.
It depends. We may have to leave Wednesday or Thursday morning, depending on her work deal. But that's all to be determined. Because I can be there in 12 hours.
We got Utah first.
Yeah, but I know how we're getting there.
Hopefully we don't get no fucking snow in South Dakota, though.
I think it's early enough in the year. I mean, I understand you might as well say it's a fucking Arctic climate up
Yeah.
there. I think if it was in North Dakota, we would be fucked.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think south, we're probably be good enough. It's liable to be 85 fucking degrees when we leave in the state of Missouri.
Only thing I know is Dad said he's going up a week early and killing something before.
Oh,
he
I
goes
figured
over
he
there.
would.
He's
I
gonna go
figured-
put a hole in something.
It'd be prairie dogging or
Oh, it's probably gonna be elk.
elking, something like that. Good. We'll bring a barbecue grill and kill that fresh son of a
Yeah.
bitch, and I'll cook it. You can cook it.
You ever had elk?
No.
It's phenomenal.
I've had an elk,
Elk is
burger.
way better than
Yeah,
any fucking
yeah.
dairy.
It's like the filet mignon of venison. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't want to eat that piece of shit deer anymore.
No.
I'll tell you that.
Well, Adam still owes me elk steak, so
They're fucking good.
now I just got to get over there to get it. So, but man, we've hit on teching, promoting parts. Know you got another show left still. You still got a house to redo, and you still got a South Dakota ride to build. So, appreciate you coming down, hanging out with us, talking. It's always a blast. It's always fun. You ain't even drunk. Kind of disappointed in you, prick.
You have any last words?
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Make jump, boys.